This man is Rupert Murdoch's disgraced fake Sheikh Mazher Mahmood, and it is my contention, assertion and belief that he was guilty of at least one crime under the Forgery and Counterfeiting Act 1981. Now, of course, Mahmood and his team would argue that he had a lawful excuse as a journalist, putting together a public interest, at least that's what they would argue, story, to then go and buy alleged counterfeit coins from somebody. However, surely they should then hand those over to the police immediately, or at the very latest, the day the story appears. A Guardian newspaper article dated the 4th of October 1999, the link to which is on my blog circusofthemind.net, cast light on why Mahmood wouldn't have handed the coins to the police the day he got them, the 9th of April, but rather should have handed them in on the Sunday the story appeared, on Sunday the 12th, which is still 3 days later, but the reason being explained in this article, 4th of October 1999. It relates to the fact that in 1997, after a contempt of court case where the News of the World was fined £50,000 after publishing an article which prejudiced a trial, that this would have caused Mahmood to hold on to any alleged evidence until stories appeared. Because it seems, as mentioned in that Guardian article, and the link to that is on my blog page, circusofthemind.net, that in 97, the News of the World got fined for basically publishing a story when evidence had already been handed over to the police. In other words, it prejudiced a trial. And later on, he's asked more questions about this in that transcript that's in the Guardian article, and explains that that is why he now would not hand evidence to the police until the story had appeared, which, okay, I'll accept, hypothetically, may give him lawful excuse to keep hold of the alleged evidence until the story appears. But when the story appeared on Sunday the 12th of April 1998, some 3 days after I had collected the coins from the source that his associates told me, using the money he gave me up front to make it possible, as fully explained at circusofthemind.net, that he should have then handed them to the police. Why did it take a full another week, another 7 days until he handed them over? In total, 10 days from me delivering them to him. He had no lawful excuse for that time period and therefore breached the law, should have been charged for that. As a completely side issue, yes, he would argue that he had a lawful excuse for inciting me to deliver counterfeit coins to him in the course of public interest journalism. But as my blog circusofthemind.net fully illustrates with evidence, he'd used techniques so he knew who I was, and he knew that I knew who he was, and he knew there was really a non-story, but because he wanted to protect his own back, he had to stitch me up, entrap me, and lie about me in the manner that's fully explained at circusofthemind.net. So I do not believe he had any lawful excuse for buying counterfeit coins at all. But even if we afford him that argument of that being his lawful excuse, then he should have handed them to the police, either on the day he got them, Thursday the 9th of April 1998, or at the absolute latest on the day that the story appeared, Sunday the 12th of April. Why did it take him until Sunday the 19th of April to hand them to the police, which is in breach of the Forgery and Counterfeiting Act 1981, because he was in custody of them? And there is no proof of the safety or chain of evidence either. So there's no proof those were actually the same coins that were handed to the police. So why was I ever taken to court in the first place? There's errors galore with the number of coins and things going missing. They were never forensically checked either by the Royal Mint. All of this and more with evidence and documents explained at circusofthemind.net.